Hello, today I've got for you this Rapido semi-integrated motorhome with a queen bed at the back. This is the 696F Ultimate line and it will cost over €87,000. 749 centimeters in length, 235 in width, 295 in height. And right now outside the light isn't so good, but I managed to get all the lights on inside, and so you can get a good look at the important bit, which is in the vehicle itself. So at the back, I've got to say, although I've got all the lights on, it is dark outside of course, but then again it's dark outside at night. Here in the bedroom the lighting isn't so good, unfortunately. So what we've got this queen bed which can be raised. It can go up and down. This is now at its lowest position, and if I stand right next to it, you can see it comes up well, halfway between my knee and my hip. So it's easy to get into for those who may have problems in pulling themselves into bed, and sometimes that can be for older people with some vehicles. That I do appreciate as a problem. Here we've got storage on either side of the bed, and also below it there is a ledge. You can charge your phones up, for example, from that 12 volt point down there. You get a plug to put in there, and that's no problem. Actually, I do believe these are better than putting in USBs. The reason I believe with USBs is I have a theory that USBs might be replaced by something else, but they've been on the go now for 20 years, so maybe they won't be. These things here, I don't know how long they've been on the go for, but I can remember my father telling me about one in a car. Oh, well, that would have been more than 50 years ago. So at least the car was built more than 50 years ago. So from that point of view, I think they're likely to have some kind of life. The cigarette lighter, as we used to call it. Right, so close this here. An interesting thing about these cigarette lighters was that Mercedes in the 80s actually introduced them into their vehicles as an optional extra in Mercedes cars as people were stopping smoking. Of course, now we've found other uses for them other than lighting cigarettes, and that's keeping their phones going. Right, now I do feel that in Rapido vans the bedroom seems a bit bare. Maybe it's the color scheme. I don't know, I can't quite explain it, but it seems a bit as though it needs something in here to brighten the place up a bit. Now, these doors can be held in position whilst you're moving via these things down here. That'll go on there, and like that goes on easy enough. Now, but if you're moving, okay, so this is the problem, they rattle a bit. I prefer cloth myself. There are one or two companies now putting cloth at their dividers in. I do appreciate that cloth may not look as good as a solid door. Well, it's not really a solid door, it's a sort of a hollow door, but you get the point, a real door. Lovely washroom, and down here with a duckboard, and in the center we have got, get the duckboard out, we've got the plug. I like these plugs because they've got a filter in them and a sort of anti-slip surface. How big is the shower? Let's have a look at that. We'll close this door here like that. There's me in the mirror. There's me in the other mirror. Why am I wearing a hat? Because it snowed. Well, it's coldish outside. You can see inside, I've got my shoes on. I 175 with my shoes, I don't know, 177 centimeters on the hat. Maybe that's adding an extra bit as well, 178. But maybe I'm exaggerating a bit, but plenty of space up here. Look at all that. There's, of course, a skylight. I hope I'm not including the skylight in my height. But and the skylight will also, you've got closures to it. Got a mosquito thing here, which I can't close, and I've got one of these as well, blackout as well. Why can't I Yeah, sometimes they get me some. I'll leave that for whoever buys the van. I can see it requires a bit of force to get it out. Now, a toilet's got storage below the sink. There you go. Personally, I don't like these sinks. I think they look great in houses. I just don't think they're practical in vans. That's my opinion. Obviously got storage behind here as well, so that this will open and you can leave stuff behind there. So this has got a step up to the rear. Now I do like a flat floor, and we've got a step up down there and a step here as well. There has to be a step up there because that's the bit where the motorhome has been joined onto the front of the vehicle, the base vehicle, and a lot of vehicles at this price range, that would be a flat floor all the way back. Having said that, with the price range, with the price increases of late, it's very difficult to say what you get for what any longer. I also think the kitchen is lacking something, and I can't say quite what. 2 burners were very widely apart. You can get 3 burners as an option, but look at the space between them. If you put a 3rd one in there or something, you know, it just means you're using smaller pans. Maybe you are using smaller pans. Maybe it's only 2 if you don't need anything big. I like this shape here rather than a round one for the sink. I think personally I find it more practical. Also in the vehicle it uses less space, so it means we've always got a bit of space extra there for storage. Slide outs under here and here as well. They've got the gas, turn the gas on from there, and there's a clever feature with Rapido and 1 or 2 other companies. It's got central locking on the doors, so if I press that here, you heard it go. I'm going to try and open this. You see it's locked. Having said that, we're at a trade fair. People might come in here, try to force it open, don't know how it works. I'll leave it open so it doesn't get broken. We've got a spare bed up here, and an extra bed, another bed, a second bed, that's probably the right word. Key operated. It tells us here we've got to take the pillows out, and I can't show it to you. I don't have the key. I've been meaning to get myself a key, but in any case, I think most companies here actually take the fuses out or something to make sure the bed doesn't drop down. And I understand that because the motors they can go up and down once every 2 minutes, really, something along those lines. One shouldn't abuse them. Obviously when the bed comes down, everything comes down. This comes down as well, and it'll come, you can see how far it'll come down to by this. In fact, it's got here a stop in here, so that's probably, in that case, the limit. It hasn't got one on the other side. These chairs will turn round. That's why that's there. Face-to-face look, but I think there is now something on legal requirements that they have to, driving direction, sitting direction I should say, once the car's in motion, is only in forwards facing seats. So that's why we have a seating thing like you see down there. You've got a space for your legs. You'll make this will go make a an extra seat there. I can't actually though demonstrate it for you because I need 2 hands to do it. Plenty of battery capacity down there, so that is the AGM batteries. I very strongly suggest getting lithium ferrous phosphate. It's really changed my motorhoming experience. Very large table here. That's only half of the table, and there's the full table there. Isn't that big? Okay, this comes on, this one here is on the Peugeot. I believe it also comes on the Fiat Ducato. There's problems with deliveries with Fiat Ducatos at present, so if you want to specify Fiat Ducato, you may wait a very long time. Manual gearbox. this is a problem at present. People buy vehicles, motorhomes, they don't know if they're getting a manual or an automatic. Can you imagine it? Not knowing the color of the base unit, the front, and the gearbox. That is the situation we're in right now. I don't think this has ever happened in history before. Here, large fridge and freezer, bit of storage with the electrical connections. There's space for the television, and integrated into the door, as one would expect, but with everything, a fly screen. Right, you can turn your everything on or off from up here, so let's just do that right now. I'm going to turn everything off, if it works. If it works. Right, and it doesn't work, there may be a good reason for it not working. It could be because of the connections they use at trade fairs. So in that case, I'd have to turn off everything individually. When I came in the vehicle, actually, I turned on everything individually before I started filming. Let's go outside. Let's see if we can get into the garage. I'll close the door. There's the rubbish bin and a window. I think a window's great in a motorhome door. It really makes a huge amount of difference. Right, you can see it's a bit still a bit dark in here. Okay, wonderful large garage. You can see here we've got the bed. The bed is at its lowest position currently, and the bed will go up and down. Here's the thing to make the bed go up and down. I'll press this, see if anything happens. And you see now the bed's going up. Now this is done from the garage deliberately, and the reason it's done from the garage is because you might have something in here which when you put it down it would get squashed. So you can see how it's going up, folds around there. It's only gone halfway. It should actually go further than that, I think. But anyway, let's now have a look inside and see how much the bed has gone up by. So there you see the bed in a high position. Got storage under it, which is now more visible, which I'll open for you. Suppose you could also use that for extra storage as well, should it be needed. And so, but now, earlier, it came up to halfway between my hip. I'm trying to give a demonstration. It's now almost, no, not quite, but about 5 centimeters below my belt. So it's the bed itself is much higher. But look at all that extra space it gives in the garage. Close that, come back in here, show you the big garage. A door at the other side is a different size, and I like both doors to be big, but never mind, you can't have everything, I suppose. Outdoor shower there, and okay, let's close this and have a bit of a look round the back. Reversing camera up there, in my opinion, absolutely essential. Okay, so points I'm not so keen on. It looks a bit bland. Positive points, the garage is enormous. There you go. They're the two things I can think. So I'm not so keen on the face-to-face, but I do appreciate that there are people who like it. I don't like the idea of changing the position of the seats. Okay. That's how I see it. Other people might have different opinions. And so, anyway, good. So, thanks very much for being here today. Thanks for, this is the largest the largest site on YouTube for van life. And if you're looking for a particular vehicle, then you might actually find it here. And if you're looking for one that's relatively recently, I've done this since 2012, but if you're looking for one that's like since 2012, and found a used model, you may actually be able to see what it looked like and get the cost when it was new. For the moment, thanks so much for watching. All the best from me in Stuttgart, Germany.